Today we have a Smith & Wesson SW1911 E series. Safety's on, hammer back. We're gonna go and clear this. So the steps that you do to clear this: we're gonna remove our source of ammunition from the gun, obviously picking up the gun without putting our finger onto the trigger, but we're going to remove our magazine, clear. Then, in order to move our slide back on this style of gun, we're going to have to take the safety off while maintaining nothing on the trigger. Then, we're going to pull our slide to the rear, visually inspect our chamber. Look at that. Nothing's in there. I'm even going to physically stick a finger in there and make sure we're clear. Now, I feel comfortable working on this without any ammunition around, and I know there's none. So now the gun's going to change pointing where it's pointed, because we're going to have to take it apart. We're going to drop our slide. I don't need to drop our hammer because it's going to actually make it a little easier, but we've got two notches here. This notch is where our slide stop fills in when our last round is shot, or when we manually lift up on our slide stop with our slide to the rear. The next notch we're going to want to line up right now with this top part of our slide stop. It's going to actually pass through, so we can grab the top of our slide like this until we line up right there. Now you'll see I'm pushing through on the other side here. There's a little nub. I'm going to push it through. That allows me to grab our slide stop. Then I'm going to gently bring the gun forward. I can put my safety on. That allows the slide to not push back any further. But on the front of our gun, we've got a bushing. That's this piece. We've also got our cylinder at the front here. It's got our recoil spring pushing tension on it. We can take a pen or something, finger, push down. A lot of them come with bushing wrenches, but when I depress it, I can turn my bushing to the side and one move, let this come forward. I can then remove my recoil spring, set that down, and then I can rotate my bushing the other direction, and that'll allow it to slide off the end of the barrel. It's got a little notch here that lines up to stay on the end of our barrel here. So if I line it up, I can then drop it into place and turn it back over, and that's the same way we're going to reassemble it. Anyways, I'll take that out. Now I can take my safety off and I can pull my slide forward. I then can grab my recoil guide and then grab my guide rod, slide my barrel through the front of the slide, and that's our field strip. Our next step will be reassembly. So we're going to take our slide. Our barrel's going to slide into the front of our slide, and we're going to push it through until it stops. This little tab we're going to lift up, and you'll see it can push back, and it can definitely be a little bit of frustration for folks when they're first getting the hang of how to put these together. Guide rod's going to come in the front, and you'll see on our guide rod we've got this little horseshoe area. That's what we're going to want to put on our barrel. There's our tab there. We'll now want to, we can stick this in the front to help it out. And put our bushing on the front. And remember, our spring, we want that closed end to start on our guide rod. And it may be a little tough to slide it on at first. But if it doesn't get all the way on, you're going to have trouble when the time comes to put this thing back. So, right now, our gun is looking like this. That's okay. That tab you're going to want up. Some folks will do it upside down. Some folks will just stick it in and they can wobble their gun and watch through the hole on the side up here for this little tab. We're going to try it upside down with our camera here. Once we've slid over, we should be able to peer right through the side and see our tab. Right now, we should be inside of our tab, and you can test it by pulling it back and forward there. Then we'll pull back to our spot, insert our tab of our slide stop, bring our gun forward. I'm going to put the safety back on so I can lock it. Then I'll put my cap back because it sprung off there. I'm going to push down and turn this bushing. Obviously iPro and everything, but you'll see when I turn that bushing it goes right over the lip here. I can depress again, or use the tip of a pen, depress my bushing, and turn my barrel bushing over. Now we are reassembled. We'll want a function test to make sure everything operates, and it does. It's the only problem. 1911s. Limited magazine space. However, thanks to Pro Mag, we've got our extended. Thanks, Pro Mag.